Welcome back, everyone, to the Song of Waves and Wind, where I am back here in the meeting hall for the Tetamar Dwarves, and I have finished doing a favor for the whatever her title is, Shemeka Geta for the Geta, and let's see if she appreciates it.
Greetings.
Shemeka Geta smiles magnanimously at you. Very good, very good. I have been informed of your work on behalf of the Tedmar and Jirat Minesh, and will now listen to the words of the emissaries of Shara Mizadi of renewed Hamat. All right, good. Well, what have you got to say?
Thank you for your help getting this audience. We can now take it from here.
And we will convey Sharamazadi's friendship and good wishes to the Temamir of Jirat Minesh. I am relieved to learn the impolite manner of the dwarf Habati and Kenang Voliar was an exception and not the rule, Pine Leaf. Travel safely, and I hope to see you again when our missions are complete, my friend. All right, we are done with that little bit. So let's see. We have one more bit we need to do in this chapter. Work with Rahazi to complete a song of Shurug-nin. It's a long road south, but it's all on a single road, which is quite a change on the quests I've been having in this area. So now, Rahazi stands beside the road, gazing to the south. Oh, even further south she's looking. What do you
That
see?
is the way to what had once been the mines of Lakindar, where Shurug-nin toiled.
She was of no royal line, and her family had not been part of any upper caste of the kingdom of Nashak, but she possessed exceptional strength and courage. When her brothers perished in the mines, she led a revolt against her oppressors. That was not so unusual in those days, but what's surprising is that she succeeded. The freed thralls escaped into the sunlight, and Shurung-nin became a legendary figure. It is said that she could not know defeat. But that was long ago, and Lakandar must now be greatly changed. Let us see what has become of it. My guess is that it's going to be overrun with Ortekai or with orcs or with bandits. I say bandits is probably the most likely thing, or the Ortekai. Of course, there's also the possibility of the dead. Relentless soldier. Spirits of the dead, that's always another possibility. Alright, so scout what has become of Lakandar today. Okay, so how far is that away that I'm supposed to go? Oh, that's just someone in my way before I got to the point. But, dwarves? Dwarven whites. Oh boy. And those are always annoying because, oh, for a change, this one didn't pop out another spirit. Ha ha! How about a Suluk? You would think that a Suluk would be in some place where it could find some food. I don't see any food here. Well, it's not being violent for him, which is a big change for creatures in this area. So I am just going to let that be and ignore that little quest ring on it that is telling me that I have to kill it for some reason or the other. It appears my first guess is correct, that it's been taken over by the dead. Or, okay, my first guess was that it was Ortekai or brigands or the like. But I was thinking afterwards it was a possibility of the dead after I started encountering them on the road here. So apparently they are in charge of this place, and that I need to defeat a few of them in order to satisfy this situation. I noticed that there's a quest ring on top of the dwarven white up there. Let's go and see what that is all about. We need to remove the ring, as I've heard some people say. The gift of peace. The Temenir of the once glorious dwarf mine of Lakendar walked the same halls in death that they did in life, now referred to as the Quelling House. Its unfortunate residents who were sacrificed to Barktouche deserve to be at rest. Okay, so Barktouche, of course. Yeah, Barktouche did a lot of things that is nasty, right? So I suppose that we can take care of that. So 3 dead so far. So it looks like anything I kill here counts as the dead in memory of Shurug-nin. But I need to take care of some whites here. Okay, it says whites and shades in memory, so therefore it made sure that it was clear that both the whites and the shades do for that quest, but the other quest needs whites in particular. So let's see if I could find some more. Does this count as a white then, even though it's not a dwarven white? Yes, it does. All right. Well, that's good to know. So let's just find a few more. Well, I'm going to have to get through a couple of shades. Well, okay, I guess I could sneak around them, but might as well deal with a few of them a little bit more before I continue on my way. Ooh, at least that's one quest that's done, but I do want to make sure that both quests are done. Nothing like being forced to turn here if I don't have to. Yes, I'm pretty certain that I will have to, but that's beside the point. There you go. Oh, you're just in time! Such a considerate white there to not attack me until after the other battle was done. That is just so rare in enemies. I see the Rahazi has moved up closer to the location, but we need to deal with this Utugi because while I was thinking of the possibility that Utugi could be here, lumping them in with the orcs, of course, and the most likely orcs that you run into this place so far. So maybe he's thinking of taking over the Quelling House for himself. That'd be nothing new, right? Well, what do you think about this, Rahazi?
After Shurug-nin freed the thralls of Lakindar, her name and legend spread throughout all the lands of Shagana.
Around that time, she was given a mighty sword of elf make, Ortheg, and she wielded it against the armies of the orcs and that threatened to subjugate her people once again. I have not given this much thought before now, Pineleaf. Of what significance is it that Ortheg was forged by the elves? From where did the sword come? Is it possible that Glorfindel may have some details of the legend unknown to my own people? He intended to go to Knagur for his investigation of Damador. Yes, I've seen him there. We should meet with him and see what he knows concerning Shurug-nin and the blade of Orntheg. All right. Maybe Glorfindel will have something to say about this subject. He seems to have some useful information about just about everything. Hello there, Glorfindel. I was wondering if you ever heard of a sword called Ortheg.
The blade Orofek. That is a name I have not heard in some time.
Yes, the blade Ortheg is known to me. During the war against Morgoth in the First Age, a great warrior of my own people sought a champion to stem the flow of orcs from the lands of the south. Her name was Mathriel, and she carried the deadly sword Oritheg, Wraththorn. But she despaired, for the folk of the South were kept on the edge of starvation by cruel oppressors, and the spark of rebellion was snuffed out wherever it threatened to catch. Tidings from Beleriand of one disaster after another reached Mithriel's despairing ears, and she knew that she was nearly out of time. If she was to find a hero that could rally the people of Shagana against Morgoth, she had to find that hero soon. Find her she did. The word of Shurug-nin had begun to spread following the revolt at Lakindar. Mithriel gifted her the blade Oritheg, and together the two great heroes loosened the hold of the orcs upon the land and its people. All right. Well, what do you say about that, Rahazi?
I am inspired to hear of this cooperation between Elf Champion and Shigani warrior Glorfindel.
Mithriel's blade Oritheg would go on to greatness. From with it, Shurug-nin would face the fearsome dragon Ahizi and her terrible children on the shores of the lake of Idigal. It is said in song that the bones of the three dragons lay at the bottom of the lake for thousands of years. The dragon Ahizi pursued Shurug-nin northward with rage, and both disappeared into legend. But what befell of the elf of Mithriel? Well, any answer to that, Glorfindel?
The tales of your people are not so different than those of mine, Rahazi.
Right. If you continue the long story enough, it often ends in sadness. Shurug-nin's fate is not known for certain, neither is that of Mithriel. Many and great are her deeds during the wars against Morgoth. It is said she stood fiercely before one of his most terrifying servants, a Balrog of legend. But what happened to her I cannot say. She vanishes from tale and song sometime before Ahizi pursued her chosen champion northward. But let this not dampen your enthusiasm for cooperation between elves and Shigani. Great are the deeds and many are the accomplishments that they achieved together before they faded into legend.
Some of the most inspiring songs end in sadness. Glorfindel need not apologize for it.
For the sake of Shurug-nin and Mithriel, I will fight on, and not be intimidated by the strength of our foes. The Tarduth and the Utugi warriors are not unassailable, and they knew defeat at Sabudamar. They will know it again, for I am the daughter of Girhazi, a proud warrior of the Dumuri, and I follow the example of great Shurug-nin, who knew no fear. Okay. Well, that takes care of all the things I needed to do in investigation. So, it is time to meet my companions on the road towards Idigal. I will presume that they mean the point where the road from the Yurtmanesh intersects with the main road. Ah, yes, here they are. Here we have Glorfindel, Rahazi, and Ulishar.
Ever since we departed Zajana, I suspected our road would bring us to Amok's Dul in Idigal.
I did not expect the situation with which we are now threatened, that the Ordokai who control that city might be manipulated by the Tarduth. Well, it does explain a great deal, doesn't it? Well, what do you say about this, Rahazi?
Shinjamin and Kishatel have set out for Kijan to bring word back to Sharamizadi.
I will remain with you, Pineleaf, for I fought at the Sabudamar, the Red Rush battle, and I know the danger posed by the Tarduth. For fallen Sardusha and the honor of the Demuri, I will fight alongside you against them. Alright, so what do we get for this? We get Faded Sentry's boots. Okay, well, slight upgrade, I guess.
Of our company, only Olishar has walked into Idagal. Will he tell us what to expect?
Oh, and where should we go first? Even mighty Shurug-nin would hesitate to knock upon the gates of Imaxdul, knowing the Ordekai and the Tarduth have joined hands within. Well, there is that. Any ideas?
Amax Tool has borne many names over the span of its history, each chosen by the power that controlled it.
The minions of Nisaka, the Korthon League, and now the Ordekai all have controlled this place. But Rahazi is right. We should not make directly for Imaxdul. Instead, let us pass into Idigal and follow the road northward. There we will find a pleasant settlement beside a green oasis. It is called Ahaba, and the Beltani herdsmen who dwell there showed me kindness when I wandered, a few years before I was imprisoned by the Ordekai. If Malgazor lives there still, he may help us. I knew him not, but by his reputation he was a man of influence among those who live by the water. Okay, so travel to the village of Ahaba. Then let us get a couple of small things here, but I don't think any of these are particularly pressing at the moment. So let's continue along our way. The road seems to end here. We have the north and south bends. I think that our village is right over here on the north side of the intersection. So we will head into there and see if it is as friendly as she says. Make sure that it hasn't been taken over by Ordekai or any nastiness like that. Well, it looks pleasant enough. It definitely doesn't look like Ordekai architecture, and I haven't been shot by any of the lookouts. Now the question is, how do I get down there? Ouch, ouch, ouch. Whoops. Alright, I got it. Now, let's see as if I could find anyone who will tell me some information. This looks like a nice and pleasant village. Perhaps this man will have some information for me.
Outsiders are often drawn to Ahaba by the oasis.
It is the custom of my people to welcome any who desire water or food, if they come in peace and offer work in exchange for these gifts. We have had difficulty with vultures of late. Should you do something about them, you will have the friendship of the people of Ahaba. Very well. Now, could you please describe the vultures and tell me where I can find them? Ah, well, some of the vultures fly upon wings and are at the fane of Sharhuzu, but others bear swords of Vorach, and these too are unwelcome. They reside at the Wither Watch. Still other vultures might once have been Ahaba their home, but now they live upon Kidu Kala and prey upon their former neighbors. I am pleased that you understand me. Alright, so I am to look for 3 different types of vultures and to demonstrate to them that they should not be scavenging upon the lands. Yes, and we will head out and fight them when we return for the next episode of the Song of Waves and Wind.